welcome to part 3 of my presentation on the Judge Dredd miniature games starter set. This is presenting the Mega City Streetgang, so in many ways this could also go if you were just going to buy the Streetgang box, which is this box here, which you get inside the Judge Dredd miniature game. Overall you get 8 perps inside the box. You get 8 very naughty people who Judge Dredd and his friends have to arrest. So we'll go by each one individually, I think. The first character we're going to come to is the juvenile girl with a pistol. She's quite a nice figure, in a sort of dancing, shooting type of pose. It was very interesting to paint because she didn't have really a lot to paint with. She's basically got a dress and some armbands. So I went for green because I don't know, it just kind of suited the figure when I painted it. I've also given her blonde hair as well, if you've noticed. So this is the basic figure you get. She's in a very cool pose, sort of blasting away with a pistol, although I very much doubt if she has the slightest chance of hitting anything in that particular pose to shoot. But then again, she's a juvenile and doesn't know the first thing about how to shoot judges. I'm sure if she survives the battle, she will actually learn to maybe take shelter behind a building or something. So that is the first figure. It is a very nice figure to paint, and it looks really cool too. It's very well posed. You may notice the base. All of them are based on these bases. The base is made out of putting milliput on the base and then putting some detailing, adding wires and stuff. And I've done that with all the figures because it's going to suit the scenery when I finally get around to doing the scenery. So we'll move on to the next figure, which is this guy. He's a sort of punk with a pistol. I've given him a nice white jacket. I've given him some stolen judge's boots, or imitation judge's boots. I mean, he's a juvenile, I don't think he can afford the real ones. And a sort of fake judge costume underneath. So he's kind of pretending to be a bit of a judge and trying to look nice and hard. And I've also given him a very cool hairstyle. Nice bright red hair, well, dark red hair, to make him look like he's really tough and hard. Not bad pose, he's just basically stood there holding his pistol in the air, so not that much interesting to do with it. But it was much easier basing it on a base than it was the female I just did last time. So we'll move on to the next one. This guy is a juvenile with a heavy weapon, a machine gun, and he's going to be probably one of the more useful characters in the box. He's got a nice heavy weapon. He actually looks like he's holding it, although the strap does look slightly more cumbersome than the weapon itself. So it is a decent figure. I like his glasses, and I've given him basic stripy trousers and a nice little jacket, the same colour as the last guy, because I've kind of themed them all in sort of grey white jackets as a general theme to the actual gang, but I haven't stuck too closely to any actual colour scheme for the gang. So this is the guy you basically get, and he looks alright, and he's going to be one of the more useful characters. The guys with pistols are just going to get killed, but this guy, he can certainly do some damage to a judge when he really wants to. Now we go on to the fourth one, sorry, I can't count, sorry. Right, this is the fourth guy. Now this dude looks really cool. He appears to have robotic legs, or at least armoured legs. He's carrying a baton and he's got a pistol and he's got a really awesome quiff. I also like his jacket. Overall, this is one of the funkier characters. It kind of reminds me of Easy Rider, or maybe even the Blob. But it's that sort of themed character, and I quite like it. He's in a nice pose, he's sort of running, he looks like he's about to tackle a judge, or tackle anything really. And I've gone to town on making him look really scruffy. So even though he's got his nice expensive leather or plastic jacket, it's a bit dirty and scruffy. You can see bits of dirt on, and I've put a little packet of equipment down on the floor with him, and I've made him look kind of grungy. But I do like his legs. They're really cool legs. I was going to paint them as judge's legs, but I decided not to. I decided to go with a sort of cheap metally finish to make them look like more the cheaper sort of kit you can possibly pick up. This is the Judge Dredd universe after all. So, this guy, cool. Now we go on to the next one. Now this is actually the Fats fan out of the book. If you look at the book, look at the rules, you can see that this guy is the Fats fan, and he's cool. I really like this guy. This guy is certainly awesome. I've given him bright green trousers, boots, thigh boots. He's wearing sort of Spanish Succession thigh boots, so I'm going to call them boots for now. I've done them green so he's trying to take off the more expensive stolen judge's boots, but they're obviously cheap imitations. He's got a nice little grey-white jacket on to match him with the other figures. And again, he's got the really cool quiff, but this guy I've given red hair because he's really trying to make a statement, along with his bright red trousers and everything. Actually, the colour scheme is more themed from my Spanish Succession 28mm stuff, because that's basically one of the French regiment's uniforms. And he just looks really good. I like the guy. He's obviously making a point with his pistol in the air and he's waving his fist. This is a really cool figure, although not as cool as the guy in the jacket, but he's cool. I like him. He's really awesome. Now we come to the next one, who is a basic juvenile. If I can get it in focus. Right, it's in focus. Right, forget I said that. So, he's a juvenile. And he's wearing some sort of semi-military uniform. I kind of guess he's probably picked the kit up either off his dad, who's a retired soldier, or it's just some basic stuff he likes wearing. Back in the early 70s, late 60s, kids did walk around wearing their dad's old kit, and it sort of reminds me of that sort of thing, except we're in the 2000s and somethings. He's got a little tiny baton in his hand because I don't think heavy lifting is going to appear in his schedule, and overall I think he's alright. He's not, I wouldn't say he was the best figure. In fact, I think he's, out of the entire set, he's the one I liked the least. But I've given him an overall grey look. I've seen him painted up this way by other people, and I think it looks alright, and to be honest I couldn't really think of what else to do with it, other than to kit him out like an actual judge, or kit him out like a self-defense force trooper. I didn't want him to match any of those sort of things, so I've done him as a sort of local sort of security thief. So that's the guy. Now here's the next one, and this is one of the more interesting ones. He's a psyker, and he's basically using his mind to attack someone. But I've painted him up a little bit to match the chap out of the Judge Dredd film, the chap who does all the computing stuff, whose name completely escapes me, and I feel awful for that, but I'll look it up. And so he's carrying out a bit of telepathic attacks, a few telepathic attacks. I've given him orange trousers and a sort of stolen green judge's jacket. Maybe some fake judge armour, I don't know. He's got a small pistol on him, and he's got trainers, which look really cool. So I've painted them up to look like he's basically a juvenile who's fallen in with the wrong lot. And lastly, the most terrifying figure of all is this guy. He's not actually terrifying in himself. He's a decent sort of figure to play with. He's a decent sort of figure to look at. But I painted him as a clown. I just thought it kind of suited his face quite well to put him a smiling face on and give him green hair and give him a sort of clown look. And the most terrifying thing in the world, if you're me, is a clown. I mean, some people are scared of spiders and stuff. You can forget that stuff. Clowns are terrifying. So I've done him up as a clown. Again, I've done him in a bit of stolen judge's clothing and themed it with enough white to make sure he kind of themes with the rest of the squad, but he's certainly an individual. He's a sort of junior Joker. This is what happened to the Joker before he was the Joker. And I like this guy, he's cool. Not my overall favourite figure from the box, but I certainly like him. He's alright. So, that is the overall lot of figures. I'll just set them up for you again. And make them look cool. So, that is the entire set of figures. That's what you basically get in the box. I'm quite proud of the bases myself. I think the bases are quite cool. They certainly have a theme to Judge Dredd. and they certainly will have, do have a theme to the scenery that I'm going to be doing for them later. One of the more interesting things about Dredd is you can more or less do anything you want with it. Judge Dredd is a pretty wide game and there's lots of themes and stuff, and if you're going to start, then if you're going to get the box set and stuff like that, then it's a really handy little squad of figures to play with, and they look really good too, especially when you spend a bit of time painting them and making them look good. So this is the Mega City Streetgang, and it's available with the actual box. It comes with the box set, although you can buy them individually, and you can also get them in the Mega City Streetgang. It's probably cheaper buying them in boxes rather than individually, but it's entirely up to you. And so this is my figures, and this is how I painted them up, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. I will be doing the judges next, something which I am very much looking forward to, because judges are awesome. So if you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe and all that other stuff. Leave any comments in the comments bar. I'd love to hear your comments. And if there's anything else you'd like to see me doing, then please let me know. So this has been me. Thank you very much for watching.